Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the Paint Party live stream. I am so glad to be with you again in the studio here the week of Christmas. It's so good to be with you for the last paint party before Christmas, and then we'll have Christmas the day after Christmas next week, and then that's the last one of the year. But so glad to be with you again this evening. All right, I am going to jump right into it, but there is a lot that has happened since I was with you last Monday. Last Monday, we were painting, I don't have it in front of me, but we painted a new painting, kind of a pastoral scene, and it was starting to snow here, or we were planning to get snow. They had said that we might get 1 to 2 feet, which is a significant amount of snow. It started snowing late Monday night into Tuesday, and it did not stop until this past Friday at about 10 a.m. So we ended up, instead of 1 to 2 feet, we ended up with 5 feet, about 60 inches here in Lead. The next town down the mountain from us is Deadwood, a historic town as well. It's about 3 miles away, about another 1,000 to 1,500 feet below us on the mountain, and they only got, they got 3.5 feet. But the ski mountain, which is just outside of town, that is about 7,000 feet, got well over 60 inches of snow. So it's a great start to the ski season. They had just opened, and it was really cold, so we got lots and lots, more than 5 feet, of fresh, really light, fluffy powder. One of my friends was skiing yesterday and said it was amazing on the mountain, so really excited for the local economy. It's going to be a great way to start the season. It is going to be cold for a long time here, at least in the foreseeable future. I think by Christmas we may get up to freezing, but the next few days we have wind chill advisories, and I heard today around town that they are predicting wind chills up to negative 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So going to be very cold the next few days, and I hear that is coming all across the country. Even very far south is getting single digits and very cold weather. So those of you in the south, I really feel more badly for you all because you are not prepared for this. Your houses are not built for really dramatic cold like ours are. But yeah, it's been an adventurous week here on the mountain. All right, let's jump in today. Hey Lola, it's so good to see you. As always, glad to have you. My friend, thanks for popping in this evening. This live stream is very simple. If you've been here before, you know how it works. It's very much like open house. You pop in, pop out, stay as long or as short a time as you like, but you can participate in the live stream anywhere you watch with the comments. So if you're on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever you are, feel free to jump in the comments, say hello, or make comments, ask questions. I love to engage with you. This live stream is part of my own Learn to Paint journey. About 2 years ago, I started teaching myself to paint and began this live stream just every week painting. It's one of the best things I think I did because it forces me to be somewhat consistent with my paint process. So I am in the studio at least once a week here on the live stream. All right, we're going to do something I have never done before this evening. I often will bring those things to the live stream, but it's something that people have been saying I need to do for a long time. You'll remember several months ago we did some painting of people, and I started painting people. I had never tried people before. I've done only a couple of those. I want to do more portraiture. But this week, we're going to try something different. Usually we do a still life or a landscape or animal. This is an animal, but this week we're doing horses. We're doing a horse. I have never painted a horse before, so it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. As I get my camera set, I will kind of describe what I am working on in my own development, and as we get started, it'll make a lot more sense. So let me switch over cameras for you, and I'll turn you to this camera so that I can move my camera here on my phone into a better position, and you don't have to be subjugated to my the shakiness of the camera the whole time. That could be nauseating. All right, one of the things that I want to focus on in the coming year is composition. And I mentioned that I'm going to be picking a few of these main skills in painting: drawing, composition, lines, several of those things, in order to improve my own skills. And so in order to do that, I'm going to begin to focus on some of the things that are, I don't know, that are fundamental to painting. And one of those is composition. So as that being said, what I have begun to do is use a tool. Let's see if I can find the right. Yes, this is the right reference photo. You'll notice on the right side of your reference photo is the image of the horse that has a grid laid over it. You'll also notice that on my canvas, I have the same grid laid out. So, whoops. I did not want to do that. I wanted to add that here. So as I begin to paint, this grid lays out over the image, and you'll notice why this particular image works so well. Notice the horse's head, or the focal point of the eye more specifically, is at the intersection of the lines at the top of the grid. The horse's face generally follows the grid lines, as well as the legs running forward, and the entire horse slants along that long diagonal intersectional line that goes through the painting or through the reference photo. This is why this particular image jumps out right away, and why it feels like it is a good picture already, because it is composed so well. I did not adjust this reference photo much at all, other than to lay the grid over. So having that on your screen, you'll be able to kind of see the grid as well as my reference photo as I begin to paint. All right, let's jump right in. And I want to say thank you, or greetings to those of you who are popping in here. I see a few more people popping in. So good to have you. We're going to jump right in. I have toned my canvas so you can see. Oh, I need to flip it around. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Let me flip my canvas around so that it is correct. And I'm going to have to, I think, move this back a little bit. There, now you can see my entire canvas in one shot. So you can see kind of how this is laid out and as I'm beginning to paint. So what I want to do is start to lay in the composition, and in order to do this, we will just begin to do that over these grid lines. So I'm going to take a pretty large brush. It's about a 1-inch brush, and we are going to start just putting in the composition. So let's look at this and begin putting this in. And I am going to see what we can do just off the bat. So I'm going to put all my browns out here because the horse is brown. And we will see what we can do. All right. Da, da, da. All right, all right. So we have yellow, burnt umber, or burnt sienna, burnt umber, raw sienna, and ultramarine blue on the palette. Hello, Mom and Dad. So good to have you. Did my video not pop up on Facebook? I know you normally join from Facebook, but glad to have you on YouTube. YouTube is easier for, well, it doesn't really matter actually for me, but okay. So I'm going to take some of this burnt sienna and a little burnt umber, mix them together just to give us a little bit. And we're going to start, so we have this here at the center. We have the shoulder of the horse. So I want to kind of just lay in some of that. Lights and darks again. And then the other place I see this color is up here with his ear, and it kind of leads down here into the snout. Oh, whoops. Let's see. Oh, I didn't put another line in here. There's supposed to be another line going all the way around this. So that's why that threw me off. We will wing it. We'll pretend like that line is there. Okay, let's put this kind of rump of the horse back here. I want to put that in just to kind of give me some guidelines. Ah, I see. Good deal. Or I guess that's not good deal, but... Oop. We may be getting some... We're supposed to have, as I said, cold wind chills the next several days, but... All right, we'll put some of this burnt umber. Oh. Wonder if raw sienna. I'll put some raw sienna over here. That's a more reddish color that I think will be good for some of this. Put some of the other, let's see, this. Very quickly, the image of this animal will start to appear as we put in some values. All right. Again, I'm just looking darks and shadows. That's where this grid starts to help, because very quickly you can put in very quick, you start to see what's going on here, don't you? And part of my goal with this is to create a very loose, they call it kind of a painterly approach. Welcome, welcome. I see several more people coming in. Thanks so much for popping in. Those of you who are silent lurkers, you can join in the conversation anywhere where you're watching with the comments if you would like. I always love to engage with you on the comments, so feel free to say hello, although you do not have to. And I am going to continue in the coming year to develop my skill based on these fundamental kind of, I started with YouTube tutorials, and I started just literally copying other people's tutorials, and then a student of mine encouraged me to paint my own things, or my own, and so I started doing more reference photo work, or photos from reference. And then now I feel like I am beginner intermediate version or quality painter potentially, and so I want to leverage that ability that I've developed and begin to strategically and intentionally develop those skills. So in doing that, I want to basically focus on things like lines, drawing, the fundamentals, lines, drawing, color theory, composition. There's a few perspective. There's a few more elements of art that I want to focus on. And so this is where I'll be going in the next year. If you are at all interested in kind of preview of coming attractions, those of you that are here often, you may be interested where I want to go next. And so that's kind of what I am thinking. I am very, very loose modeled work, as you can tell. Now, what I want to do is come in, take some of this dark, and I want to do more suggesting. So we need to suggest that there is a, there we go. Okay, so you'll notice that there, basically I've just put blobs of paint on the canvas, but notice already what your eye and your mind is doing and how your kind of gut response, what is your gut response to this already? Is it favorable? Is it, what do you feel about the painting? Notice as just really literally, I mean, here, I'll do something I don't like to do, but like it's literally just blobs of paint. You can see there's really no cohesion and no real image until you step back. Oops, sorry about that. Oh, and I just lost my camera. Give me just a minute. I apologize for that. Should come back. There we go. But as you back away, then all of a sudden it starts to pop in. Hey there, my friend. So good to see you. I hope Austin is treating you well. I heard it's getting cold, going to be cold down south. I don't know as far as Austin, but I know Dallas and Little Rock were getting cold. So good to have you pop in for a little bit. I miss you, and I hope you are well this holiday season. Yeah. Yes, so it is, the crazy thing is, with just this little bit, all of a sudden, we start to see what's happening. So what I want to do actually is I want to, I think, see, and I don't know, this is another thing I want to do more in the coming year. I want to, whoops, I almost dumped water everywhere, y'all. I want to do more work on my concepts before I do a painting, like do a concept for the painting first before I dive into it. But this time I had the concept and the idea, but that's about it, just the reference photo. So I want to go in and put some I want to start putting some background around this. This is a really bright blue, so I might bring a little yellow into it. Little orange, cut it out a little bit so it's not as I'm not sure what I'll do for the actual background of this painting, but we'll just put something around it so that we can make some judgments about the paint, about the horse, now that we have it kind of in. And I'm not painting too heavily, that way I can still see my I can see my guide lines, and eventually we'll come back maybe and do something more, but whoops, apologize, I keep bumping my, oops. This will allow us to begin to carve also a little bit of around this, so it's almost like a sculpture. So I kind of like that. So we'll put this, bring a little blue. We'll give this some forward momentum in not only the horse, but in the paint we put around him. All right, by doing that, I mean, it's kind of fun, but I think I kind of want this light. We'll see how it plays. I'm not sure, but yeah. To me, having this kind of light in the background here pulls the whole idea forward, that feeling of the forward momentum of the horse. Okay, now my teacher always said do a thumbnail in one color. Yes, 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 yes. And you'll remember I didn't do as much this week. I mean, I did kind of a monochromatic palette of all browns because he's all brown. But last week when we did the pastoral scene, I did a lot of that. In one color first, and then started adding colors because I wanted the what am I trying to say? The values to be right on that painting. So yeah, I don't disagree with your teacher at all. I think that is, and that's one thing that I could probably do more of is, and I just need to make time to do it, is do some sketches or some quick studies of these paintings before I do them. I want to kind of ground this horse a little bit, so I'm gonna just mix, and I want to I want to just cover up some of this canvas. We'll just keep extending the background. But I think the blue kind of works. This will take us visually too far out. We need to come back in. But it gives us kind of a place to start. All right. Kind of have a bluish brownish background. Okay. Now let's go back to the horse and try to take some of these. I feel really good about the overall. Let me take this off for a minute. There you can see. So it has kind of a bluish background behind him, and then very, I'm not going to put the fence and the green because I think it distracts from the focal point. And we want to feel when somebody looks at this, based on our graph should be the focal point, and his eye right at that intersection of that line that comes right through here. And when somebody looks at this painting, I want them to feel like it's in motion. So I want the style of the painting, the types of brush work I do, as well as the actual painting itself. I want all that to be thought out. And so let's go back to the horse and let's begin to carve out some of this movement, these spots. We laid out the darks and lights very primitively so we could get a fundamental image, and it works. So now let's go in and see if we can start adding minimal brush strokes to really make it work, Okay, so I'm going to come in with a little bit of this dark, almost black. Let's do some of his, let's put in again his, this is where the line went right through the center of his eye. So his eye is somewhere in there. Oh no, I'll have to work on that. Then right behind that, there is shadow behind his ear. And I'm just doing very loose brush strokes. Like my brush is still the big wide brush, so I can't do a lot of detail on purpose. So I want to come in, and he has some shadow. That's kind of his. And then Also shadow right there. We'll just keep dialing that in until we get the right balance. As I'm doing this, I'm also thinking of the planes of the horse. Where is the light reflecting? And my battery is dying. I think I plugged this in wrong. I hope it will work. If I suddenly lose you, y'all, it is because my computer is dying. I'm not sure what's... Oh, it says it's charging. Okay. I hope not. I hope I'm not losing you all. Okay. So... little by little, I think. Okay. All right, I'm really loving this horse. What are y'all thinking? I'm going to step back, take a picture of him. think now I want to take a little bit this. Thank you, Lola. I need to clean up some of the edges, of course. I almost don't want to do too much refining, though, as far as like doing a lot of detail work, because I kind of want that feeling of like I just want it kind of, I don't know, that vibrancy or that energy. What do y'all think? Can I get away with like just not doing too much detail? Let's go back to this. I want to do some more background. Oops, that's too not mixed enough. I don't know if I might want the blue though. I almost took it to kind of like the blue, at least up here. I like it that more blue color than the greenish brown. I don't know. Whoops. Oh, I don't want that. It's amazing how mark making on the background really makes a painting, huh? It really adds to the, I don't know if it's mystery of this, but like the feeling that like he's just running up out of the canvas. Okay, I'm going to put, let me take that down. You can kind of see by putting the blue just around him, I think it really makes him pop out like he's, and then having just the suggestion of the shadow there, it just does exactly what I'm wanting it to do. Notice also how I'm starting to use the reference photo as a reference, and then we're just going from there. So we use it as a reference, but then we're kind of creating our own thing there. You know, our own painting. But I really love, especially in this kind of a subject, I love the very loose brushwork. And so I think I am going to keep going. I'm going to use the same palette. I might come down into a maybe half-inch, quarter-inch brush, but I want to just refine some of these things. So we're going to bring some shadow, a little bit of shadow color, dark, and I want to just come up. Actually, I don't like this brush. I'm going to take my mix. Okay, let's go here. I know I'm not talking, it's because my brain is working sort of overtime, and I am not too good at doing two things at once. Not bad for my first horsey, y'all, huh? I am not displeased with this at all. Now we're just doing a little sculpture, y'all. Little bit of sculpturing. See if we can pull it off. Now I feel like I'm getting too far off from where we were. And shoot, almost wish I had left it. Because now I'm feeling like the legs are looking too weird because I've defined them too much already. So we'll see. But that may be a lesson learned. Because if I mess this up too much, if I define the legs too much, then I put too much detail, then I have to go back and refine the detail, make it correct. Because now I took this too, and so this looks like its leg is just hanging out really weird. Because I think I brightened this under him too much. If that makes sense. Oh, we're living and learning as we go. All right. Lola says she thinks it looks good. You're absolutely right. You've been telling me that from the beginning. You know, Lola, I think you're right. Like when I step back, it doesn't look as bad as I think it looks up front. So I need to step back more often, huh? Okay. Well, let's step back. And okay, I did a little work on the, which still could be refined, but it's working. Do our he's coming down like I'll have to fix this, but it's actually coming down, I think, like that. He's coming. The shadows go there, down, and over. So he We got about 30 more minutes to kind of work this. I kind of feel like I should have stopped 20 minutes ago. But unless you try, you don't know, right? But I don't think it's terrible. We need to just put shadow back, some shadows back into his neck. Because there's not enough contrast. Oop, I lost my camera. Sorry about that. Oh, I think I froze my camera up. It says waiting for the connection. There we go. Yeah, now I'm back. Okay. Thank you. I am really proud how it's coming for a first attempt. And especially focusing on trying to keep it looser kind of style, or a looser type of style. The key is figuring out how much to do and when to stop. When is the painting done and when do you start overpainting? That's what makes people like John Singer Sargent and others masters, because they just develop to a level where they literally they just could put the finest level of detail with the most minimal brush strokes. Okay, why am I not getting the dark that I want? Probably because I'm using a very wet brush. Oh, is it diluting it that much? Trying to go in put in the darkest shadows. too much brown. But I don't want it to look blue. I want it to look black. You know what? I like it, and I think I'm going to just say something I haven't said for a long time, but should be said often. This is as good as I can do in the time allotted for the skill I have. I think that's what we call it. Except there's one little detail, and that is her trying to go back through the yellows and reds where I see specific highlights of the reds and yellows. Try to put those in just a little bit. Oops. All right, gonna stop. I said that hours ago, not hours ago, but a while ago. There we go. I like it. I like it. It could be better, like people that paint. Hey, Ethan, so good to see you. Thanks for popping in. The people who paint horses all the time will, I'm sure, be able to be more critical. However, I'm pretty proud of this one. So we'll call it a night. All right, I'm going to switch you all back to this camera just so that I can flip this around and say goodnight properly. Wish you all a very Merry Christmas. And we will go here. All right, I do want to say thank you so much again for joining me for the Paint Party live stream. This is what we have done this evening, and I'm pretty proud of it. Let's see. Oh, I can't really in the good light, but I'm pretty proud how it turned out. For a first exercise for a horse, and it captured kind of the feeling I want, which was that of motion. It's also very loose still brush strokes. If you see there's not a lot of detail. The brush strokes are pretty loose, but then when you step back, it really gives the feeling of forward momentum, which is what I wanted from this painting. So thanks so much for joining me again. I do want to wish you and yours a very, very Merry Christmas, and I will look forward to seeing you the 26th of December next week, Monday night at 6 p.m. We will plan to be here unless something happens. You can always follow me on Instagram at Stephen E. Rice, and that's a great place to see progress photos of paintings I'm doing. So, that said, I do want to say good night, and I will see you next time on the Paint Party live stream. Take care.